Howdy, Hoof here. In this video, I'll be talking about something that's been really annoying me, the Switch 2. But before getting into this topic, I need to make something clear. I mean no harm with this video. It's mostly just going to be me complaining about the Switch 2, more specifically, some of the coverage surrounding it. So, take this video as me venting if you can, because I need to let some gaming industry frustration out. Bad. It's been brewing for a long while now. So with that out of the way, let's talk about what it is that's got me so pissed off. I'm just gonna assume you know what's been going on with Nintendo, but just in case, here's a very short version. Nintendo has priced their Switch 2 at $450, while also pricing Mario Kart World at $80. Oh, and none of these prices were mentioned at all in the Nintendo Direct that announced both of those products. And for additional context, there is a bundle with the Switch 2 and Mario Kart World for $500. And if you can think of any other useful context, feel free to put it in the comments. Alrighty, now that that's out of the way, we can finally talk about what's angered me so much. And it's videos that look like this. Now, I've been watching a lot of YouTube videos about the Switch 2 recently, mostly because it's been very cathartic in some cases, hearing so many people criticizing Nintendo for participating in these anti-consumer practices, something that, in my eyes, is actually pretty common for them. I've even seen videos going so far as to promote boycotting Nintendo, which does make me happy. But the videos that have been rubbing me the wrong way recently have been rubbing me as wrong as they have because of how they've been handling all of this nonsense. There are Nintendo YouTubers that I do watch from time to time. The one thing that's been bothering me about some of these fellas is how they talk about these anti-consumer decisions that Nintendo tend to make, and in some cases don't even talk about them at all. Now, I'm not saying these YouTubers need to go so far as to call for a boycott anytime Nintendo does something crappy, even though that would make me a little happier. But it would be nice if some of these YouTubers would acknowledge how harmful these practices really are, while also talking about the topics that they're interested in. One example that really annoyed me was a video from the channel Beat 'em Ups. And again, I'm just complaining here. No harm to you, Beat 'em Ups. I'll probably end up watching their videos anyway. But this clip here did upset me a bit.
I want to talk about my whole experience because I played everything today. I pinged around that building so quickly in the 2 hours that I had for an allotted slot. And it is baseline. Before we continue, I need you to know, sick. And I know that we're dealing with a lot right now. The prices of things are insane. I made a video about that. Now, it looks like it might get even worse. So here's what I'm gonna do today. I'm not gonna worry about that. We'll let future me and future us worry about it. I'm just gonna talk about this thing, the cool experience that I had, and why I think it's the...
Now, maybe I'm just being a bit dumb. I guess all I'm trying to say is that Nintendo is acting up again, and seeing a video start by literally brushing aside that fact feels a bit strange to me. It irks me, you could say. And if you were paying attention during that clip, you might have heard this person mention a video where they actually talk about some of these things I desperately wanted to be acknowledged. So you might be thinking, if they got a video where they complain like you want, why are you still annoyed? So let me answer that by showing you the opening to that video.
This thing is expensive. And I don't just mean the Switch 2 console, I mean everything around it in its ecosystem. Look, it's still ground zero. I'm still on the high. I watched the Direct today. No
A Legend of
way!
Zelda game.
I'm already losing my voice from how much I've been screaming and talking and being excited. And look, ultimately, I think it's all a net positive. Ultimately, it's the most exciting thing I've experienced in my natural born life.
I'm really hoping that it's not just me feeling bothered about this. Is this strange, or am I being strange? It's a video, so I know they have to be dramatic, but to go so far as to say this is all a net positive. But when Nintendo is presumably ushering in the next era of gaming pricing during one of the worst possible times to do so, I don't think that that's a net positive. Things in this video do get better for a little bit. Beat 'em Up starts addressing the pack-in game being sold instead of being free, and things continue to be fine until we reach this clip here. While on the topic of Mario Kart World being $80, we get this gem.
But why 80? My one working theory is I'm just really hoping this is the case. Let's not judge it too quickly, because what if they, with the $80, promise to give us 2, 3, 4 years or reoccurring support or a live service type thing where they're constantly adding new characters, new tracks, and all of that DLC is free. Everything they add to the game is free. Any improvements, any changes, any extra content, this whole world concept of something grander than normal. What if all of that is free? And in the end, we end up getting an immense amount of content, and it makes it worth it in a way. I think that is the only way, in my mind right now, I can see $80. Like, if we get this, and I'm not even talking about, like, skins or battle passes or anything like that. Like, those are free. Those are free off the rip, Nintendo. You know that. But if we get this, and then later they offer DLC that's paid, I'm out. Like, I don't really know what could justify this in my mind. Otherwise, we're in a slippery slope here, and if Nintendo do this with no real good reason, it's really just opening up the floodgates for other game companies and developers across the board to do the same, and I really don't want that. So I understand everybody's hesitation. I just think we need to find out more about it, but if it ends up being just how it looks right now, that's not good.
Again, this feels super strange to me. What precedent do we have to even hope for a situation like he describes? Because the packing game's already being paid. Nintendo hid the prices, and you'd think that they'd want to justify the price tag by explaining the circumstances for the pricing. And to my knowledge, nothing like that is mentioned in the Direct or the Mario Kart World website. So I think it's crazy, and it just feels like Beat 'em Ups is kind of justifying it, or holding off judgment, when it seems pretty clear what's going on here. Anyways, that's enough of my complaining. Let me know if you think I'm overreacting to all of this here. And if you're also annoyed with Nintendo, please, I'd love to hear from others who are also displeased. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you'd like to talk more about similar topics, and goodbye.